Hey guys, how about that? How about that? Now I have a little issue because I want to try to clean my lens here. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a little better. Um, I've had to change my strategy here. My mobile phone is how I usually record my videos, and I had to switch to my Chromebook because apparently, if you want to live stream, you have to have 1,000 followers if you want to do it from your mobile phone. And I don't have quite that many yet, and so I had to scramble. Hey, looks like we got 7 guys on there. That's pretty awesome. Hey, there we go, Surav. If I got your name right, very cool. Now here's the issue. I'm holding my Chromebook right now because I had to use my Chromebook instead. So let me do some one-handed furniture moving. Put you guys up on a shelf. Sorry about that. There we go. There we go. Hey, the boy 13, Kevin Kerwin, G-Man. Hey, man, how are you doing? That's good to see you. Long time. That's awesome. Hey, HD Shaves. Glad to have you there, man. We will let folks chime in and come in as we go. This is definitely a different angle than you usually see me. Hey, GD, Manish, very cool. This is totally new for me. I have never done a live shave before. It's coming at a different angle because I jumped on there. Tim, hey, Michael Friedberg, very cool. Tim Nunez. I've never done one of these before, and so I went to put my mobile phone. I've got this thing I've been using for several months, this suction cup holder for my cell phone. Put it up there where it goes like normal, and then it said I didn't have the right criteria. So I looked and it said you got to have 1,000 followers. So I scrambled. I'm glad I jumped online early. I wanted to try to be online early and to be able to maybe answer some questions ahead of time. And I'm glad I did that because I had to use that time to scramble to get my Chromebook. Is my audio coming in pretty clear? Would be great if somebody answered that one. North Kakalaki, know it, Mr. Friedberg. We are here. Mike Freeberg is a fellow North Carolinian, and we enjoy that commonality. Thank you, GD, for letting me know about the audio. Probably a little bit more reverb and echo than I usually have. Oh, hey, this is a bald spot cam. You guys will be able to see that, no problem. All right, great. So I thought about what soap I was going to use today. Hey, Peter, Manish. Sterling is just one of my favorite soap scents. Soap brands. The performance is amazing. The scent selection is terrific. In general, the scent strength of most of the soaps is right where I like it. The value is amazing. I can get about 13 months out of one of these 5.8 ounce tubs. This one is Port-au-Prince, and that's what we're going to be using today. And the reason I chose this one is because this is their Mutton Tallow. And I thought, what a great way to showcase maybe a base that not as many people know about. Port-au-Prince, Varan, sheep, of course, Scots pine sheep, electric sheep. Those sheep ones, of course, are mutton, but you may not know that Glastonbury, Port-au-Prince, and Varan are all the mutton base as well. So there we go. And this is one of my favorite. It's just a couple of notes. It's vetiver and lemongrass. Oh, man. Now, I don't like this. Is funny because I don't like this as an aftershave, but I really like it. Yeah, Michael, I need to overload now and then. But here's the problem with overloading. If you overload, then I just have to keep adding water to get the soap to be as slick as I want it to be. But yeah. Yeah. They just recently, GD, they mentioned that, we just had the sale. They just had the Stirling release of the seasonal things. And there's so many really cool scents in the 3 ounce size. And I usually choose a few of those. I think I ordered one this year. I could have ordered probably about 3 or 4. That's something for him. What was it? There's one for Fahrenheit, and I think it's called Allighetti or something like that. There's another one, something for him and something for her, and that one for him sounded maybe interesting. But yeah, Michael, water's cheap, but time is not. And that's what it takes when you have to add more water to your soap if you added too much soap. All right, man. Okay, so we've got the soap here, and it has been used, but not very long ago. This is funny not using my cell phone. The razor I decided to choose is one that has been so successful these days. And it's the open comb version, and it has the B gap in the open comb. And this is the Karve Christopher Bradley, of course. And I find that this is a wonderful testament to how open combs do not have to be aggressive. That's kind of a myth that's going around. Sleep less. There you go, Michael. Nice. And let's whip out the blade. 365 shaves, guys. It's just nuts. It's crazy. And so here is the paper card I keep with it. And I've started not keeping the blade in the actual wrapper, but in this folded index card, because I thought that the wrapper might start falling apart. It's really quite, it's showing its age. It's got 300 dots on this one. And so 64 dots on this one. And so that's my counting. And here's the Nacet. And hey, I wonder if this camera does a good job of close-ups better than my, oh yeah, there we go. Nice. So we've got the 3 dots that I used to identify it. Shave the goatee. Oh man. You can also see right here is where I bent the blade on use number about 225. And I dropped it, and it had the top cap attached to it. I have this chin that sticks way out, and so I enjoy having a goatee to kind of subdue that a little bit. All right, so we're going to now if you've been watching me at all with this blade, the dot side, I put that each time I shave. I put that. You know what, Michael? I like to see this edge under microscope as well. I really would. My son actually has a microscope. I wonder if it's still together. I wonder if he has kept it in good enough condition where I could use it. It's basic, but it might show it might enlighten me. Thank you for the inspiring message. Yes, this blade has killed millions and millions of whiskers, G-Man. It really has. And the Karve is, of course, self-aligning. I have never had a blade in there that did not align perfectly with this razor. And yes, I have polished with just brass or chrome polish. Brasso works really well. I have hand polished the top there. I like the way it looks. The brush we're going to use today is Declaration Grooming, and this is a B5. And I really like the depth that this guy is set for. I think he's just a 24 millimeter, but he's plenty big enough for me. Hey, I appreciate that. Golden Steel TV, making a little bit of history. 365 shaves, hammer and chisel, or hammer and I can't remember what it is, but that's the people who made the handle. I'll add the details to the equipment and stuff, my usual kind of post into the comments. I should have made a list. I did buy a few things. Also, first I'm going to get this in water. Let it be soaking. I do have hard water at this location, but Stirling does a great job with hard water as well. Oh, B5. I'm a big fan of the B5. It has Linus. Hey man, good to see you. I haven't seen you on in the comments very much. That's great to see you. Yeah, he's been a faithful watcher of this blade. But the B5 has this great soft tips, really soft tips. Some of the B5's actually gelled, but this one hasn't. I'm a fan of that. With this smaller knot, the 24 millimeter, the backbone isn't bothering me at all. It's splaying easily. And as you can tell, you might be able to see of course you can see it, the lighter colored hairs. And that's how I knew I wanted to buy this particular brush. I saw the picture and I knew that if I could see this much of the light colored hairs, then it was lofted a little higher than average. And that appealed to me, and I was right once I got it. So the B5 is a big win for me. I probably like the B4 a little better now that I've had a chance to sample the B4, because it's got all the same features with probably a little bit easier backbone than the B5 is my take on it. Manish says, I'll show you sometime. I guess what I'll use, Karve DOC and a new Nacet blade and a Stirling soap. There you go. Awesome. Nice. And Why is also joining us. Yeah. I'll probably do a live shave every once in a while. I'll see how it goes. Okay, we've talked about all our equipment. Oh, and the aftershave for today is the wonderful and awesome Midnight Stag from Chiseled Face. I can't think of a better way to celebrate with something, an awesome aftershave. All right, so the brush is getting wet, and I think we are, I'm ready to get my face wet. Knights of Stag, yes, sir. I do have a little bit more growth on me than usual. Hey, Peter Cook from Southern China. Enjoyed talking to you online, and I'm glad you got to join. This is awesome, man, broadcasting all across the world. Okay, face is wet, and I do have maybe an extra 10 hours of growth than I usually do, so 34 hours of growth maybe. So that means it's probably going to tug some on the first pass, but the rest of them should be great. All right, let's load up at Stirling. A 20-second load should be plenty. I'm going to shake out my usual most of the water out of the brush. You can't see it as well, I don't think, because of the way the thing has to add. Here are these awesome tips. It's not, it looks like it might be gelling, but it's not. It's just clumping because of the wetness. Ignore the trolls. Oh yeah, place the Nacet in a museum. It would be neat to do something with it. All right. Oh, that's right. You know what? You guys can chat on the side. I don't have to respond to all the chats. That's true. They're Manish. So 20-second load here. Where's my timer? Does the oh, there's one right there. All right, we're starting at 23. We'll go to 43. Can't remember if I got the words out, but Port-au-Prince is one where I do not like the scent of the aftershave. It's a little bit too strong for me. I don't like to sit in it for 2 hours, but the soap is wonderful. All right, I probably got in 21 seconds there. And this is, it doesn't look like a lot of soap, but it is plenty. And then I do like to rinse out the side of the tub, shake it upside down. I don't like those caps that bind, you know, and if soap builds up, it can do that. And here's the famous syringe. Joey, hey, man. And we will start up. You know what? I was talking to Stephen Joyner of Dogwood Handcrafts, and he mentioned, there we go. There we go. Chiseled Face is online as well. Oh, yeah. Midnight Stag, man. I'm so glad you made that scent. 21-second load. Sugar Daddy goes crazy. Yep. You got it. All right. Now we know Stirling uses a lot of water. It can take a lot of water, so I'll just start off by dumping 2 teaspoons in there pretty quick. Peter, yes. When was it? When I was doing my thing with MDC, I had to translate the loading into number of swirls, because you just don't need to load very long. I don't on MDC at all, and counting by seconds was too big of an amount. And so I had to do something more minute. And so, yeah, I had to convert it to swirls. And I think at that time, 13 swirls equaled a second of loading, or not as, I can't, 13 swirls equal 3 seconds, maybe, something like that. James F., thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh, good. I'm glad the quality is nice. Thank you, Adam. Desert Island Razor. Man, that's an interesting question because what do? You pick something. I could easily pick something that's memorable, and so it could be the Black Beauty, short handle Black Beauty, that was the same model that I kind of inherited from my grandfather. That could definitely be it. Could be something really cool like a Wolfman. The Karve is, if I could bring all the plates on my desert island, that'd be the way to go, right? Because that would be the choice, practically speaking, because you'd be able to have so many different shaves, so much comfort. I guess that'll have to be my answer. Now, you know what? I wonder when I started using the syringe. Maybe for 2 years now, something like that. Hey, Alan. Alan's up in Canada. We talk a lot. Very cool. I just have really the one syringe. I may have another one as a backup. And so we are looking pretty good here. We've got 3.5 teaspoons of water in the lather. Oh, there's a big syringe that I used, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, something like that, as a joke. My son, got a snake bite in his finger, and the hospital gave us a big syringe to irrigate the wound with saline solution, and so it holds about 10 times as much water as this one does, and it was huge, and so it was fun to use on my channel. Hey, Victor, thanks, man. The shade, what is it? The heavens are mute. Okay, there we go. Michael, do you use a syringe, but for just different purposes? Well, when you're talking to folks online, it's really easy to whip up your lather because it's a very meditative experience with all you guys. Michael Friedberg's recreational habits. That definitely needs to be the talk of any shave video that I ever do. All right, now let's, one of the things I like to do to test that texture of the lather is to lift it up like this, kind of and as you can see, I definitely do not have as much soap, as much lather as I usually do when I do 20 seconds of loading, probably because this soap wasn't used for quite a while, maybe a year, something like that, for cleaning out my fountain pen. Nice, Michael. But I'll bet this should be enough. So let's just go with it. It's pretty elastic. I can always juice it up with another visit to the soap. But I love those nice, long, you see how that wall fell down right there? I love that. It's one of the things I look for. But we do not have a plethora of soap today. All right, let's get my face wet. As usual, no shave, no pre-shave today. I don't use pre-shave or oils or anything like that. Oils seem to slow my razor down and gunk up my brush, things like that. Just water is what I use. Some people who hypermile their blades claim that prep is very key, and that may be true for them. But for me, it doesn't seem to be as important. Just water, and there we go. Also, SugarDaddyShaves.com has a page that I created with all the thoughts that I've had about how I get this many shaves out of a blade. And so it's what Marathon Secrets, I think, is the name of that particular page. So if you're interested, some of the big highlights are dry it between uses. That may be really important, but I'm not really sure. I think it is, though. Keeps that edge from corroding. Number 2, we want a really slick lather, and to keep that blade from wearing down very much. We also want and that means a wet, slick lather, not kind of a dry lather. And then a light touch. Again, we're focusing on trying not to let the blade wear out very much. Light touch on the blade. And there's some other ideas that I was throwing around, and I put those on the page as well. check that out if you're interested. Okay, very cool. So let's see. You guys are talking about fountain pens. That's pretty cool. I used to be really kick on that. Levenger catalog. I used to love that. And then they quit making the Levenger catalog. I've got a couple of Watermans. I've got a Mont Blanc. Pretty neat. All right, let's see. See if we catch up with any. Oh, yeah, the Lather Bowl. Yeah, we'll go ahead and mention that. It's got the veins in it. Now look at this brush rest. You know, the fine accoutrements Lather Bowl and the Pereira, if I pronounced that wrong, I'm certain I did, have this trough right here. But this one has two U-shaped things. And I have found that is a much better solution. I have yet to find a brush, and I just counted the other day, and I've got 80 brushes at least. And I've yet to find a brush that doesn't fit properly in this configuration. But I have definitely found brushes where you'd have that trough and the brush would just flop over. It wouldn't sit right because of the way everything was touching. So let's see. We are in the company of legends. That is very cool. Yes, razor blades for currency. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Really, CBD is promoting this Lather Bowl. Well, as long as he doesn't take credit for it. Roger Quintero is the designer and creator of it. And he saw a video I did comparing Lather Bowls and showing different ones and talking about what, yes, the schematic is on Thingiverse. And I always put it, anytime I use this bowl, I always put it in the description comments of any video that I use it in. Roger Quintero, I think his username on Thingiverse is Roger Quinn, ROGERQUIN, I think maybe. And yeah, it's got the veins and it's got a bump in the middle. I really like that aspect about it. And Roger actually printed this up for me himself. And he did that as a kind gesture because he appreciated the bowl video that I did talking about different aspects. And it's one of my most popular videos. Different things to think about as you consider a lather bowl. What's important, what's not, that kind of thing. All right, let's see. Oh, very cool, Linus. Yeah, I'm really glad that's working out for you. Oh, 70 shaves on a treat platinum. 70 is a big number. Very cool. I just sold face. Haven't made it past 20. I'll tell you what, 20 is really a big number, actually. I mean, that still turns any blade into a nice budget blade, even if it's a Kai or something like that, something expensive. All right. Now, hey, another lesson. My lather is not dissipating at all, still staying nice and rich. All right. I'm going to splash a little bit of water on my face. And then let's put this on with this awesome B5. And I do use cold water usually because I like the way it prevents inflammation. It's very refreshing between the lather passes. Any meetup at Maggard's? Yeah, we had to, they had to cancel it this year because of COVID, right? Darren asking about the consistency. The heavens are mute. Where can you get a brush like this? Get it on the used market. You can find declaration batches on the used market. This is a B5, and so it's past its time. We are giving it a few minutes to work it into my skin. If you just paint it on and leave it, then you just don't get that penetration. You don't get that the bonding of the lather to your skin so that it acts like a lubricant. And yeah, this is a really wet lather right here. This is one that's probably on the wet side of perfect for me. Yeah, I'm sure Maggard's is going to have to cancel their thing for safety reasons. And as you can see, we do not have a big old thick amount of lather on my face. Oh, but here's the thing. This is kind of thin, but this brush is so amazing and soft that it still felt wonderful. The B9A that I've been using recently, that's a 28 millimeter brush, it would have really felt like a chore and been a lot of work to splay with this thin of a lather. So sometimes the thickness of your lather can help change the way a brush feels, that's for sure. Man, thank you, G-Man. I appreciate that. All right, here we go, folks. Shave number 365. Kind of look sideways into my mirror. And like I said, the first one is going to be tuggy. Actually, not as much as I thought it would be. I may have to do 4 passes since I do have some length. Wow, I am really surprised that this is not more tuggy. One thing, if you want to try out, have an experiment yourself, do a shave with where you work that first pass of lather on your face for 3 minutes longer than you normally do. Use the same setup as the previous day and see if it's more comfortable. See if it's a smoother shave, in which case you can see how that conditioning of your skin is affecting your shave. Mainly with the grain, shaving at this point. But yeah, I'm really surprised this is not tugging very much at all. And we are focusing on just knocking down some hair. We're trying to get everything in one shot. Even when this wet, this lather is a really nice performance lather. Indeed, probably might be a good one for straight razor shavers as well. They like them a little bit more slippery. Michael, you like the B9, but you know what? I don't think I like the B9A so far. My 28 millimeter A was still too stiff, too much density there at the core of the knot. I'm thinking about wondering if maybe I could go with a B9A, but in a smaller knot, like a 24, that might fix what I have. And I definitely don't want the B9B if the 9A is still a little bit too stiff. Let's see. Let's catch up on some comments here. Oh, Alan H. and Jay Jones. Are you guys talking about fine soaps? They shut down the Germany plant. Hey, you know what? Zenith brushes, I jumped on those within, maybe about a year ago, and I had all the other brushes, but not Zeniths, and it didn't take me using one very long. I'm really happy with my silver tip, and I'm really happy with my boar brushes. My Zenith boars just broke in really quickly. Maybe not tip splitting, but in terms of comfort and usability, I've been super happy with those. They're like, most of mine are like Samogs, but just with more bristles, and I like that a lot. Chiseled face. Yeah, I should start a double-edged honing service. That's great. All right. Zenith bore. Oh, yeah. My B10, really good. My B2, if you want a bigger handle, is a great feeling knot. And the B23 seems to have a different knot configuration where it sticks the bristles up vertically first. The other two kind of sticks them out this way. And so it's a very different break-in experience. My B23 is that long barber handle. It's taking more time to get comfortable and enjoyable and all that sort of thing. All right, a little rinse. All right, let's lather up again. Now that was a wet pass. And so I'm going to help things by dabbing my face. And that way I don't have any water contributing and making it maybe a little bit more wet than I might like. Zenith, where to get a good deal on the Zeniths? The good news is I like that B10, and it's not very expensive. let's see, what was it? The Razor Company, the Gentle Shave. One of those is a really good place to get zeniths, I think. Also eBay. Yeah, B2, really nice. In terms of synthetic brushes, I don't really have very many that I like, because most of them are way too stiff for me. There is a Burma Shave brush that I bought at Walmart at the very beginning of my journey. And I'm sure it's just, crappy nylon bristles or something like that. It's actually nice. I recently tried a Motherload, and that one is a whole different degree of backbone. It's much softer. It's got that brown with the white tips, and I got it from like Umo or something like that. And I like that one a lot. I don't like a lot of backbone. And so most of the synthetics are not my cup of tea. All right, let's see. Stephen Joyner, man, that's awesome. Hey, I'm glad to see you. I meant to send you a link. I was shaving with my son a couple days ago, and we were using the B9A brush from Declaration, and we were using Fine Accoutrements Santal Absolute. So that might help me to remember which it was. But I had my son there, and I was talking to him online on the channel here, and I was asking him, hey, do you remember that guy we talked to? He had this stair step with the brushes on it, and he was really cool, and he said some really positive things about you. Good to see you, man. That's right, Stephen. Oh man, I won that Stag brush from the challenge in 2019, and I still can't make up my mind because, having Stephen custom make you a brush handle is such a wonderful privilege and a once in a lifetime thing. And I've got a couple of designs I've been throwing around. I've got a folder in Dropbox with ideas that I keep capturing, man. I don't know, man. You're being very kind and patient. I appreciate that very much. All right. So, man, this brush feels tremendous. Now, I wanted to feature the Port-au Prince because I just wanted to show off the Mutton base and just let people know how good it was. It doesn't have as many scents as the normal beef tallow base from Stirling, but it's an even better performer, smoother, slicker, creamier, just all. But it's got a base scent to it that that kind of has to have a certain. Oh, and see right now, this second pass is nothing. I've got no tugging. I'm going cross grain here on my cheeks. The Mutton base is terrific. Light touch as usual. Most of the time I tell people to watch my face and see if you can see my cheeks or my skin being indented by my razor. And then that will give you an idea about how lightly I try to hold my razor. And my goal here, and yes, I am going to keep using this Nacet blade until it dies. I'm not going to quit after a year. After 365 now. Oh man, that Stirling, that base, holy cow, that Mutton base. How good is that? That's got to be the best value base out there. I really think maybe so. Yes. second pass. All right, now let me rinse and we'll do the third. It's kind of a half rinse. I'm kind of caught up. I'm really enjoying talking to you guys. I don't know what to do. Having too much fun. I definitely want to get a microscope when I do finally let this brush die. Holy cow, this brush feels so amazing. When I let the blade get retired, I definitely want to find somebody with an electron microscope. Yeah, I have heard with borers, if you scrub them on a towel, and I don't mind doing that some. I personally just like to use them, except maybe like an Omega that's being really stubborn. I might be tempted to throw that down the street. But my Zeniths and Simogs have been so nice. I haven't needed to do any kind of accelerator. But yeah, my Omega, the 20102, and has such, and my Stirling bore is actually taking a while to break in. I will work it extra hard on the towel. Yeah, Danny, I might have to frame the blade, or, I might have to have Mr. Stephen Joyner to make a brush handle with it as the inside the handle, immortalized in resin, right? He said that was tricky because the size of the blade, you might start hitting the corners of the blade, and this is very comfortable. Now, the key is, am I going to get a close enough shave? Because my goal with this blade has always been reasonably comfortable and a reasonable number of passes. I mean, if it takes me 10 passes to shave with this blade, I mean, that's too much. If it takes me 10 passes to get all the hairs cut. And again, we have, so that's the third pass, right? Face feels great. And honestly, I'm really surprised that I didn't have the tugginess on the first pass. And maybe it's because I've got this B open comb. That's a mild gap with an open comb. And it treated, everything was just right with this geometry. Very cool that on such a long distance away from shave number one, that pass, even with extra growth, an extra 10 hours or so growth, it still did really well. And hey, it turned out I had plenty of soap after all. Let's do just a bit on the neck right here. A little bit of tugging, lifting my chin, looking away. Haven't felt any razor burn or anything like that. And there we go. Yeah, I can't pause you when we're live streaming, right? And here we are with the post-shave feel of this mutton, and it just is slick. Face feels great. First name, last name. I've corrupted somebody. Oh, man, yeah, the SOC bore is tremendous. Yeah, I've stopped blooming too, Michael, for the most part. Some of my hard soaps I might, but I discovered with the fine I didn't need to. With the MDC, I didn't need to. A kidnapped blooming. My most broken in bore right now, I think, is that Simogue Owners Club, the Taj, I believe. That was one of my goals a while back, is to have that be my most used bore brush. It's still not got a lot of uses, but I think it's around the 60s or something like that. I kind of wish I didn't have as many bore brushes, because when you have a lot, you can't put a lot of uses on them. But I've chosen that one as the one to focus my uses on. Yeah, the SOC bore from Simogue is a great brush if you like a big bloom. And I like soft, easy display. And even while the tips split, they're not fully split yet, it's still a nice, comfy brush to have. I am not honing or stropping the blade with each use, Linus, or ever. And so I have no idea when it's going to stop. Something I haven't mentioned, hey, that Omega Pro, those things have too much loft for me. Now, I guess you could do that Italian barber grip where you restrict the bristles. But one thing about this blade, I've always shaved on it. We've had 365 shaves with it only on one side. I've never flipped it. Actually, by mistake, I did flip it once. So I guess 364 shaves on the same side. See, those dots are always toward the handle. Yeah. Daily Carry, good to see you, man. Yeah, today is I just finished 365 shaves on the Nacet. I just finished the shave. And so when this blade starts to feel like it needs to be retired, I'm going to flip it. And I have no idea how many more uses I'm going to get out of it at that point. I don't know if I'm going to get 20 and then it'll be done, or if it's going to give me another 300. I have no idea. But I think one thing we've proven is that by me not flipping it, that if you're just using a blade for 30 shaves, 40 shaves, something like that, then it doesn't make a hill of beans difference if you flip it or not. If you're trying to flip it religiously to give yourself longer life, if I can get 364 shaves out of one side of the blade, you know. All right. I like the Wizamet blades. I like them a lot. They seem to be doing pretty well as pole silvers. Redo tomorrow. You know, actually, I'm going to shave with this blade again tomorrow because leap year. Why not, right? Thank you, Darren. The Whip Dog Boar, Manish. Yes, sir. I've got one of those. As a matter of fact, the Whip Dog Boar was the first brush that this Nacet ever saw. In 2018, I started using this Nacet blade with a dart from Blackland Razors as my austere August setup with that Whip Dog Boar brush, 24 millimeter maybe. And that's a really nice brush too. I like it. We've got MIRNA and then some number. He is behind me. He is maybe at 330 uses right now. He's on the wet shaving subreddit, and he is doing great. He is stropping his blade between uses. And so I think he's experiencing more comfortable shaves than I am. I think it's great to have the two scientific kind of channels going on, him with stropping and me with not stropping at all. Very cool. Thanks, HD. Appreciate that, man. Yes, job well done. Appreciate that. Shimming for the win. Yeah. How pungent is that soap? You know what? The scent strength on this one has been on the side of a 3 to 4 out of 10 during the shave. And maybe because I'm such an easy loader. But when you put your nose right up to it, you will get it. But I would not say, even with here, maybe 5 out of 10 or something like that. It's not a pungent soap. Now, this one is like I don't know, a year old or something, but it's not all that pungent. I really like it as a soap. The aftershave is very pungent. To me, it's too pungent for me to wear. The Big Chrome Platinum is not one of my favorites. Early on, it did not do me well. I bet it could probably serve me a little bit better now, but I haven't really gone back to it. Yeah, flipping your blade. Do it if you want. Why not? The Rex Ambassador, Alex, did not do me very well. It just felt tenuous. It didn't feel very smooth. This razor right here clamps the blade really well from the top and bottom. And so I got a very smooth experience that I really enjoyed from this one. And the Rex just doesn't seem to do that. It just felt a little touchy. It would do the job. I would enjoy it if I was on a desert island and I couldn't shave with anything else. But in a world where I can choose, I had mine, I shaved with it, and I sold it. It just wasn't quite my thing. 10 to 10 strength soap. Man, I can't really remember. I'm not really sure. Charcoal Goods. I used the Gen 1 head for a while. And this Nacet blade was really the only blade where the Charcoal Goods did me any good, because I was able to use it around 70 or 80 uses. But at a normal range of 1 to 30 uses, the Charcoal Goods Gen 1 head was too aggressive for me, way too aggressive. Even when I tried to ride the cap, even the level 1, I'd started with a level 2 and it was too aggressive. I backed down to a level 1. It still was way too aggressive for me. And it was such a beautiful razor. I'm glad that I was able to use it once I had a high use blade because of its nature, but I wasn't going to use it very much, and it was expensive. And so I decided to sell it so I could buy another razor. So yeah, I have recently tried the Charcoal Goods Everyday, and I love that one. It's much more mild. It maybe holds the blade a little better. Tim, thank you, man. I'm glad to share it with you guys. I'm having a blast. Yes, it is time for the aftershave. Now, this is the definition of pungent. Right here. Man, what good stuff this is. Midnight Stag. Yes, sir. That's right. Nope. This Midnight Stag is nice and strong. As a matter of fact, if we pass Midnight Stag around to all the COVID testing centers, nobody would have any COVID. Maybe Walmart should have Midnight Stag in the entry doorways. The DE89, the Muley 89, that's a very common head. You know, the Jagger and the heads from Maggard, or the V3 head from Maggard, are also comparable to that DE89 Muley. That doesn't have a lot of blade support from the bottom. And that's not really my forte, unfortunately. What's comparable for there in the stainless steel, I don't really know. If you like something more firm, then you know the Karve is really nice. I like the vintage stuff, like the Slim and the Fat Boy and that sort of thing. You could even try a Tech. Those are really cheap on eBay, but shave really, really well. All right, let's see. Chiseled face, yes, sir. Waiting on my slice of the cake. Nice, yes. How did I get introduced to DE shaving? My first shave was with a vintage Gillette Black Beauty short handle, and it was from my grandfather. And I wanted to learn how to do that, and I used just foam shaving cream from the store. And I wanted to know how to do that, and then I pretty much put that away. And I was successful at it, but I put it away and switched to electric and didn't really look back until 2016 or 17. And I had been using the disposable razors, not the cartridge ones. Those are a little too expensive. I mean, I had some, but when they would run out, I wouldn't rebuy the cartridge refills. One of those, if I had a coupon thing. But I was using the disposables that come with a handle, and many of them had 3 blades. I didn't enjoy shaving at the time, and because I didn't enjoy shaving, I'd wait a couple of days, and so my beard would get too thick, and so those multi blades would clog up, and so I would get so frustrated trying to rinse the clogged up hair out of the razor so I could keep shaving. And so I was in Walmart at the shaving aisle one day, and I saw the Vanderhagen razor. Perhaps I may have actually been reading The Art of Shaving. Is that right? No, that manly blog, Art of Manliness. And they were talking about shaving with a DE. They're talking about guys doing it for years and that sort of thing. And that kind of turned me on. Then I saw a deal for like $15 on basically a Biley type twist to open razor. I bought that, started using it. And then and then my wife saw me using it, and she bought me the Vanderhagen kit at Walmart that had the apothecary mug, the Vanderhagen soap, and a crappy Pure Badger brush. And so I used that soap all up. And I discovered that I enjoyed shaving, and I started doing it every day. And so that whole going to it because of clogging, that was no longer an issue because I was shaving every day. And so the main reason I went to DE shaving was because of those clogged up multi-blade carts. And that's really why I did that. And then when the soap ran out from the Vanderhagen puck and my blades ran out, I went online to try to find a better deal. Yeah, it did start. It's a starter with a deal. I went online and for my money's sake, I probably would have been better off just going to Walmart and rebuying those Vanderhagen blades. But they were basically $1 a blade, and I thought, let's get a better deal online. So I managed to go to Amazon, and I didn't know about any of the forums for a while. On Amazon, I really perused the Tailor of Old Bond Street. The Barrister and Man at that time was on Amazon. And Katie's Bubbles was on there as well. And I read those comments, and I have abandoned Tailor of Old Bond Street, of course, because it just doesn't perform nearly as well. And so a lot of that stuff I learned on Amazon. I've abandoned. I bought a bunch of Parkers and Edwin Jaggers and Merkur razors. Pretty much sold all those. So that's how I got started. Then I found the wet shaving subreddit and all the forums and things like that. So that's my history. My ID, Sugar Daddy. We were doing geocaching as a hobby. It's where you use your GPS unit and you get on a website and you find the coordinates for a little cache of junk. And then you navigate to that using your GPS. It's kind of a scavenger hunt type thing. My wife and I didn't have any kids at the time. We were doing that a lot. And I was working and my wife was doing a lot of the geocaching, and she wasn't working at the time. And I just jokingly called myself her sugar daddy because I would work and she'd be out geocaching with one of her friends all day long. And so then that's when I switched to that name, and it was open on Twitter as well. So I snatched that up. And when I jumped on Reddit, somebody else already had the full spelling. So I had to remove all the vowels. I like to justify the price of a Wolfman by the fact of how many years I'm going to have it and use it. And then the fact that I'm going to pass it on to my son. That's one of the reasons and also I don't have any hobbies. I don't have a car that I'm putting mufflers on. I don't have a boat or any of that stuff. I also like my Rockwell 6S on plate 3. I go back and forth between plate 2 and 3. But then once I got this Karve, I sold my Rockwell. It was just better on all points for me. Yes, Darren Parker and TOBS, the Amazon Starter Special. Yeah. Yeah, Danny, me too. I did not like shaving at all, and now I look forward to it every day. I really do. I even experimented with to see if I could shave twice a day. And what I discovered is I can shave about 14 hours or 16 hours apart. I think 16 is probably the better. And so I discovered that if I got up early in the morning and shaved, then at nighttime I could shave again right before bed. And then the next day at about midday, I could shave. And then the day after that, I could do the 2. So it was a 2, 1, 2, if I wanted to do that, but I didn't do that anymore. My best blade. Yeah, Michael, Karve. It's just an all around excellent razor. Where do I sell my gear? On the Shave Bazaar on Reddit. My best blade, the Gillette Silver Blues do really well with me on pretty much all my razors. Feathers do pretty well. What else? I think the Pole Silver was interesting because it did not do well for me as a beginner. And then after about 8 months of shaving, tried it again and it did great. I think I like the Gillette Platinums. I think they do well for me a lot. Some of those 7 o'clocks do well for me too. Those are some that do well. Oh, the Astra Platinums. That does well for me in many razors. Most of those top 10 ones, if you go to triablade.com and look at their top 10 sampler, I've tried all those and they do really well for me. The Timeless 68 is a wonderful razor. It's so smooth. Karve did take a while when they were doing their stainless because they just had some issues with putting it all together. My understanding is that, and my experience with when I bought my brass, it was way before the stainless came out, was it didn't take very long. Even, from Canada to the US, I think it just took like a month or month and a half. I was fine with that. But that was early on when they first came out. I could shave my head if I did it twice a day. I could shave my head and then shave my face. Yeah, yeah. I actually did shave my head for a long time. And then the reason I did it was because I didn't want to bother with haircuts or trying to keep up a shave. And then I realized that all the shaving effort that I was doing was more work than just combing my hair every day. So I grew my hair back out. Yeah, Astra SP blade, good stuff. The Blackbird, Danny likes his Blackbird, and I can understand why it was too aggressive for me. I could use it occasionally, but it was so beautiful. I love the razor, but it was too aggressive for me. Manage the with a Nacet, pushing it so many uses. I started it in 2018 with the Austere August uh, thing, and I just hoped that it lasted the month. I had shaved with it a couple of times. At that time, the Nacet was not seen very much on the Shave of the Day forums and things like that. When I started posting that I was getting 60 or 70 uses out of it at the time, I did hear a lot of, wow, that's not a blade that goes very long. And so I don't think a lot of airtime before I really started using it. But I had experienced such good shaves with it. So I guess it should go. When it's young and fresh, the Nacet's a wonderful blade for me. But yeah, I just hoped that it would go. I just hoped that it would go the month. I didn't know if it would or not. And it went the month. And it's still going. I have not shaved with it exclusively, of course, but it seems like about 40% of the time over the last 2 years, I've been using this very Nacet blade. Yeah, Darren, you and Ethereal Warrior are making a good point. Yeah, once you get your technique down, all of a sudden your usable gear will really open up, and a lot of things will become more usable once your technique gets better. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Chris's problems with COVID and stuff are affecting his ship times and things. Gillette Blacks, the 7 o'clock Blacks do a very good job for me. I really like that blade too. Peter, it's time to go to lunch. Very cool, man. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really happy to have you. Dude, seriously, I'm really enjoying it. This is awesome. I really am. Shaving supplies by telephone. Man, that's tough. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's right. Steven, I bet he'll take an order over the phone. I think Maggard said they couldn't take orders over the phone over Black Friday, but maybe when they're not on Black Friday, maybe they'll do phone stuff. They're busy. Their load was just too heavy to do it on Black Friday. Danny, I appreciate that. Yeah, man, I'm having a blast. I'll have to, I don't know, do one of these every month or something like that. I don't know. Oh, Maggard's is only fax now. Okay. um, Southern Witchcrafts. I'm a Christian, and I'm a pretty devout one, and I don't use Southern Witchcrafts products as much on this channel because of that. But I did contact Stephen and Courtney, and I did talk to them, and they are awesome people. And from what they told me, it's not a serious thing for them. They're not witches or anything like that. It's just a theme, a design theme, and that kind of stuff that they went with for their business, and that it's just a hobby of theirs, nothing serious. And so yeah. Then once I learned that from them, I did not mind and totally enjoy using their products. Their soap base is tremendous. They even the earliest base and the scents are so creative and different, and so much different than anything out there. I really enjoy their work, and I got to meet them last year in September at the meetup, and they're just wonderful people. So proud to support them. They make a great product, a good value price, and wonderful creative scents with fruits and dark stuff that you're just not going to see anywhere else, and it smells really good. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. My view on the Game Changer 68, worth it or Lupo stainless. From what I've read about the Lupo, it seems to be maybe a little bit more aggressive than I might normally like. The Game Changer 68 was the flip side. I was only able to use 3 out of 9 blades that I tried with it to get a good shave. 6 of the blades did not cut me very well, did not give me a nice close cut. And so I just sold my 68 plate, and I kept my 85 plate or 84 or whatever. And I liked that one a lot with the Game Changer. But the 68 was just too mild. I'm glad they're making it, because for people who like milder shavers than I do, which is not too many, then they should definitely check out the 68 Game Changer. Yeah, witchcraft in general should not be taken lightly when it's actually witchcraft, but that's not what they're doing. That's just a theme. I bet Sudsy Soapery. Sudsy Soapery has a great base. I used one of theirs the other day, and their soap base is so creamy, slick. It's wonderful. Oh man, Southern Witchcraft has this one called Pomona. It's this apple and wine or something like that. Oh, it was so amazing. I love the smell of it. But then when I mixed it up into lather, those must have been top notes because they left pretty quickly, and I was left with some other notes. So I was a little disappointed in that. But I love the ones where they're mixing wine and fruit and stuff like that. I think those scents are just amazing. Michael says skip the Lupo as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying a Lupo, but from what I've read, it's just a little bit too aggressive for me. Then also the Game Changer has the open comb. You definitely, if you're a regular watcher of my channel, the open comb has even the 68 open comb. I liked it pretty well. I liked it better than the 68. It made more blades more useful. Matter of fact, that was Gape online on YouTube as a viewer who let me borrow that head. We're very grateful for that. Danny, yes, sir. The Dollar Tree. Yes, yes. Danny and I have been talking for a while about the bowls. And matter of fact, Danny, here's my guy right here. Here's the Santa Fe style right here is a great one. It does get my fingers a little soapy, but in terms of getting a good shave bowl, you see the indentions right here, the slant right here. It makes your bristles flex, and that's what creates good lather. Yes, I did try the Game Changer 68 open comb. You can find it on my channel for sure. If you want to search, message me on any one of my other videos if you can't find it yourself, and I will comment back with a list of those shaves if you want. I've given that particular gap, that particular base plate, a good workout. I've kind of enjoyed it. I don't think I'll buy one for myself, but if I had a good deal on one, I would buy one for myself. I like it a lot. Definitely better than the 68 solid bar for me. I do not like light razors if they're as light as aluminum razors get. And really heavy razors as well, like the Timeless with the really long, like 100 millimeter handles. Those were too heavy for me, but really anything in between. With the aluminum razors, the lighter ones, I felt like I was pulling them through my hair. I appreciated having some weight to the razor because it made the shave feel more smooth. And so because of the inertia, it moved through the hairs. APR, yes, yes. They make really good scents. I'm a big fan of the few that I've tried from them. There is no more. Okay. Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. You're welcome. It's been great fun for me too. And thank you very much. As you can see, Michael Friedberg is not a fan of the lather bowl, and that is just fine. If you're a face lather, tune in to folks like Michael Friedberg, Another Cut Above with Chris, and a lot of other shavers out there like the face lathering, and that's just fine. Major mincemeat. Yeah, man. Good to see you on here. What was your previous handle on YouTube? Have we been talking? I just didn't know about it. Shave bowl make Hulk angry. Surav Sagar. I had a friend named, a coworker named Suraj, and he was from that other side of the world, so maybe the pronunciation is similar. Yeah, face lathering sometimes can save time, but I've discovered, yeah, man, bowl lathering before bed really can be kind of therapeutic. But I like my lathers so wet that if I try to make them with a face lather, they just end up flying off because they get so wet that they leave my face. And that's very frustrating because whatever is departing, that's what I want to keep on my face because it's gotten to the right consistency. Oh, interesting. Now, the 68 Timeless Titanium, is that the same configuration? Is that the same shape? I know the bronze is a different flex and a different shape and exposure and all that stuff. Yes, Darren, there are dozens of us bowl lathers out there. I like the Razor Rock. I like the 84 gap on the Game Changer. I bet I might not mind the jaws, maybe. Oh, gotcha. Major asshole. All right. All right. Very good. Good to know you then. All right. Thank you very much. As you can see, I'm kind of reading like about a minute behind you guys. Manish gem razors are all over eBay. I don't know what area of the world you are, but if you have an eBay for your country, maybe you can snatch up some gems. Dude, actually, Manish, if you can't find a gem razor, contact me on the one of my other video chats on the comments, and I will send you a gem razor. I've got a few, and I don't use them as much. Like if you want a micromatic open comb, I'm sure I've got one of those for you. Me, an engineer by trade, close to it. Yeah, you know what? I like Michael Friedberg's approach as well. I like how he describes the things. I like how he describes the feel, the scent, those kind of things. I am not an engineer. I almost was, but I'm a programmer, so pretty close. I'm a web programmer. Yeah, I understand, Major Mincemeat. I understand. I'm glad you switched it too, just so I knew who you were. I appreciate that. I mean, you can have whatever username you want, right? Glad you're back, Golden Steel TV. Oh, really? The Jaws. It was aggressive. Okay. So did they do an update to that, Michael? Peter, lunch gone and back. Do you find that open combs do better with more blades than solid bars, including vintage Gillettes? You know what? No, in my opinion, when you include all the different razors, I find that the solid bars I like better in general than open combs. There are some exceptions to that, but in general, I prefer solid bars, or I think they work better with most blades. Edge control, yeah, that does sound deviant. Golden Steel TV, you have a synthetic brush. To upgrade, check out some of the Simogs and the cheaper Zeniths, like the B10 Zenith. I think it's pretty cheap. Many of the Simogs are just $15. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but they may give you about 2 weeks worth of hassle until they splay open and stuff. But then, man, you'll get great shaves, and just for a very little amount of money. So I think that's a great thing to try out if you want to expand your brush horizons there for not a lot of money. Okay, Michael thinks it was originally a pearl head design. Some gem shaves. I may have just acquired a bullet tip. I know I acquired something else. I'll definitely, now that I've kind of reached 365, I'll definitely be exploring other options. So I will. I did recently get a gem that I'll definitely bring to the channel. Yeah, so we'll remind me. Hey man, remind me of that if you don't see it within the next week or two. Sometimes I like them. Sometimes I like that Micromatic open comb was really aggressive for me. The first time I used it, it was not. Maybe I think I needed to have that head up closer to my skin. I think maybe I had it too far down, and I think that screwed me up. So it's probably user error. Wilkinson Sword Light Brigade blade. I don't think so. Yeah, man, G-Man, this is fun. Holy cow, I could stand here all night. YouTube After Dark, yes. Yes, James, I have tried a straight razor, and I don't have too many. I think maybe I have 8 straight shaves to my credit. So I'm definitely not experienced at it, but I think I've done pretty well. I haven't really cut myself up, and I've gotten pretty good shaves. So I think I've represented fairly well. And of course, I'm a lathering. I'm experienced with lathering, and so that part at least is covered. But if you want to comment on one of my normal videos, and I will give you a list of my straight razor shaves, so you can check them out if you want. But you could also Google YouTube or search YouTube for Sugar Daddy _shaves straight razor, and that might get you some as well. Oh, okay. Sort of that was a vintage blade. I don't have a lot of experience with vintage blades. I do have a Persona 74 tungsten that I'm really looking forward to seeing how many shaves I can put on. Yeah, HD. Yeah, the bullet tip. I hope I have one because I had heard that it was a mild razor as well. I don't think I have any personal friends that DE shave. No, I don't. Hey, Julius, good to see you, man. Timeless Open Comb 68. For me, way aggressive. Too aggressive for me by far. I had to wait until my Nacet was like at use 120 or something like that before that Open Comb 68 was usable for me. And that was a big disappointment because the Timeless 68 Solid Bar is a smooth razor that I so enjoy. And normally, like with this Karve, an open comb transition from Solid Bar to open comb is just maybe one step up. But for me, for my skin, the Open Comb 68 from Timeless was a huge jump that was way too much for me. Daily Carry, you say do a live shave with a sub sometime. What does that mean with a sub? What you mean, like publish it on the Reddit sub, that kind of thing? Major Mincemeat says when he was using oh man, things are disappearing too quickly. Sorry. Michael, man, thanks for joining. It's been great to watch you talk and interact with you. I've learned so much from you. Hey, your wet shaving tutorial, that 4-part tutorial. If there's anybody on here that needs a refresher or just needs some help or likes face lathering, that sort of thing, I highly recommend Michael's 4-part wet shaving tutorial. Thanks, Michael, so much for joining. Now Kevin, see, he's different. Faces are different. You see, he found the OC68. I assume you're talking about Timeless because that's what I was talking about. He found it mild and it worked great for him as a daily razor. Yeah, Ethereal Warrior, we like knives, razors, firearms, precision machine stuff. Yeah, man. With a subscriber. Oh, you mean what? Like invite somebody over, to my shaved in and both of you, have a broadcast together? Is that what you mean, Daily Carry? Yeah, see, that's Julius. I also thought that the OC and the solid bar would have been relatively close with the Timeless, and I was very surprised it's not. Usually they are close together, like with the Karve and most other razors, like the open comb and the solid bar with Fatip, very close together. Really enjoy both of those. Michael Friedberg, please report on how blooming goes for you. That's great. Do I have a favorite razor brush and soap base? Um, uh, uh, Maybe one of my Wolfman is a razor, maybe the Karve, maybe the Fatip. The Fatip represents to me one of the best values in razors out there. Brass makeup, so it's going to last a lifetime. But both the solid bar and the open comb were great for me, all for just $28 or something like that. But then the Wolfman because of its just beauty, the Karve because of its beauty and um, versatility and all that. Best soap base, man, there's just so many good ones. I like the slicker ones. I like the fine accoutrements, classic hard puck, the Stirling, the beef, and the sheep tallow. I like those types of bases that are focused on being soaps instead of having oils and moisturizers in them. Because I find sometimes that slows down my shave. See, right now, face feels great, kind of silky smooth, but a dry, silky smooth. And so I don't like as much the Excelsior, the Milk Steak, not quite as much as some of the predecessors. Uh, it seems that maybe my WR1 is smoother than my WR2 range. With the WR1, it seems like he's able to go a little farther, more mild in terms of the gaps. And so the comfort level, I like that better with my WR1. If I could find a WR2 that went lower, then I think mine's an 85, then that might change. I like the beauty of the WR2 better than the WR1. I think the WR2 is one of the prettiest razors on the planet. Ha ha, Wolfman. Timeless aluminum. Okay. I've never tried one of those. You know what, Julius? Yeah, that vintage open comb aristocrat. What are you talking about? Like a 15 or something like that? Man, those are brilliant. I love those. Those are wonderful. I'm really sorry if you posed a question, if the scroll went by too far. I'm having such a good time. If you guys want to post your question again, I'd be happy to if I catch it that time. I mean, post it, keep posting it. If it's a legit question, I don't mind. I'll get to it. Man, I'm glad you guys are having kind of side conversations where you're helping each other. That's terrific. I really like in terms of open comb twist to opens. My Sheraton, wonderful, wonderful shaver. Matter of fact, the Sheraton was one that featured this Nacet blade for a very long time. It was one of the few razors I had that would use the Nacet well, and that's a wonderful shaver. It's a little rare though. Man, Manish, thank you for tuning in. I'm really glad you got something from it, and yeah, it's really cool what's going on. Thanks, man. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Manish, yeah, I do use the witch hazel, but not as much. I do like my Thayers a lot. I like to use the alcohol-free unscented, but someday I might branch out and get a different scent. But the remember that the Thayers is a really more of an aloe solution with a little witch hazel in it. Maybe 8% is what some of the people were telling me. But I have tried the Dickinson's as well, and it's okay. Um, and I love the Lucky Tiger. Man, that is a terrific aloe and witch hazel type aftershave product. Big fan of that one. I probably should use it more than I do, but yeah, I don't use it a lot. I've got naturally oily skin, so I don't find myself having to use those kind of products, but I do use them sometimes. The old type Gillette. Oh yeah, you know what? I've got my first khaki set, Major Mincemeat, coming to me in the mail. Um, The old type was one that did not do very well for me at first in my shaving journey, but maybe a year after starting, I was finally able to use that with where I enjoyed it. And so I think it's right now it's a razor I do enjoy. I need to use it a little bit more. Yeah, alum. I don't use alum. I don't need it. Um, I don't think it helps. I mean, if you need it for the antiseptic properties, but other than that, I don't use it because you've got to rinse it off afterwards, and it doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't benefit me because I by the shave that I have with the cold water rinses and stuff, I already know if I've had a good shave or not, and especially if you use an alcohol splash, that'll tingle and tell you maybe where you might have done a poor job. So I don't. I already use other things for the diagnostic purposes of the alum, so that's why I don't use alum. I think it got popular with a lot of new shavers who might find videos from like Geo Fatboy or somebody like that, and they may and he may use it, but I actually don't find too many people online, like on the Reddit wet shaving subreddit, that still use alum. I don't think a lot of guys do. I think they kind of move on. Brian says, when I had my den tour, see if I can read fast enough. You had a few unicorn, very hard to get soaps. Where do you buy those older artisan soaps? Sometimes I just get lucky. A lot of times I just get lucky. The shave_bazaar is the subreddit where I get most of my used stuff. The Badger and Blade also has a buy sell trade. Facebook has a wet shaving enablers buy sell trade group as well. All of those are places where I get stuff. Oh man, a pristine khaki set. Man, nice, nice. Mine's in decent shape. One thing is the handle, Major Mincemeat I'm talking to. The handle's actually split, but everything else looks pretty good. Yeah, man, please. I'd love it if you showed me your khaki set on Reddit. That would be great. Nickel plated brass. Now that would be interesting. I would love to see that. First name, last name. That's a great idea. Darren says I don't get razor burn or weepers. You know what? I focus on the milder blades, and I use a nice protective lather, and so yeah, I generally don't have those issues. You know what I use? I use the cold water when I have those issues. Cold water is a wonderful razor burn reducer, and it physically helps to reduce the inflammation. And so I probably use that in the place of the alum. Matter of fact, for me, I would find alum actually increased my sting. It actually stung, whereas the cold water would soothe. Yeah, daily carry. That's kind of what he's saying as well. The cold. Now, I don't go so far as to use an ice cube, but that's related to what I was saying. Golden Steel TV, yeah, it's kind of. I agree about the alum blocks. Surov gets his stuff from the Shave Bazaar as well. That's great. Now, Surov, are you are you the ILG on Reddit? Are you using a different handle? Do I know you by a different handle? Am I talking to somebody that I actually know a lot better than I think? Rajesh, hey man, good to see you there. I'm glad you were able to jump in. Very cool. Yes. Oh, see, man, I wish I would have known that. I am SMS. Yes. See, I thought I recognized your picture, but I wasn't sure. Man, I'm glad. I'm glad we cleared that up. Man, I'm so glad you were tuning in. And that makes a whole. I didn't know you by by your last name there. I thought maybe the first name was familiar, but I didn't want to assume. Very good. Yeah. Hey, you guys, if you like face lathering, and also he likes his lathers a little bit, not quite as wet as mine, but tune in to look up the Surov Sagar. You see him in the chat there. SOURAV space SAGAR. And he may be on YouTube as I am SMS. He's got some good videos about lathering, face lathering, and that sort of thing. He uses more product than I do, but that's the way he likes it, and that's cool. Tune into his stuff and for face lathering, and try, even if you're a bowl lather, I encourage you to get out there, try some face lathering, see if you can learn something from it, even if you do eventually come back to the bowl. Oh, yes, Daily Carry. I thought, yes, I'm glad you said that to make that connection, but I did remember that you were somebody I also knew on a different username. Golden Steel, yes. I assumed that you were Golden Steel Boy. Yeah, man. Very cool. Yeah, I enjoy interacting with you on Reddit as well, man. I'm glad you're here. Jeffrey, now I don't know who you're saying is the celebrity, because we've actually got a whole bunch of people here that are shaving celebrities. I tell you that. I am SMS is an awesome guy. And we had Michael Friedberg on here earlier. And HD Shaves has a great YouTube channel. And he has a great presence on Reddit as well. And, he does really good stuff too. Yes, Darren. Yes. I appreciate that. Aftershave right to the face. I'll give out a Ric Flair. Woo, yeah. HD Shade's very kind of you, man. Daily Carry, yeah, doing the face lathering with a badger and bowl lathering with a synthetic. Yeah, I could see that. Brian, man, thank you for tuning in. It's been great. Excellent. Yeah, I'm really glad you could join us. I appreciate it. Thanks for your kind words. That's awesome. So here, let me put away some of my stuff. So yeah, it looks like was it 3.5 or 5.5 teaspoons of water? I can't remember. And as my brush soaking cup, this is a yogurt container. The brand is, I think it's Yoplait, and it's OI. I guess that's the French word for yes. And then I stripped off the label, but as you can see, it is narrower on the top, and so I think I find that it holds the brush nice and vertically. as it soaks. I like it a lot. Oh, heavens are mute. You're vanilla. Okay, yeah, I've interacted with you for sure on Reddit, man. Very cool. All right, I'm going to rinse out my lather bowl. One of the things I like to do after the shave is after I put on the aftershave, I like to go back to the soap bowl and smell it. I like to see how the aftershave affects my perception of the soap. Often I will be able to pick up totally different notes out of the soap that I didn't get before. So we've got Port au Prince, which is vetiver and lemongrass. Shaved with it, nice, like it a lot. And then we had the Midnight Stag, very powerful. So let's see what we get. Holy crap, that goes really well with the Midnight Stag. Mainly the vetiver, right? It hasn't really changed too much in scent. How about that? Not really a change. Very cool. Zabo, man, awesome. Glad to see you here. I don't think I saw your name before. Glad you got to join us. I've enjoyed interacting with you on the on YouTube. Thanks a lot, man. An all brass razor. The charcoal goods is going to have some brass options. Of course, probably my favorite is going to be the Karve. Chris Bradley. This is the brass, and this does have the Gladius handle, which is a little harder to get. I like the original handle too, as a matter of fact. Maybe even a little better. But I'm using this one for variety. I can highly recommend the Karve for the all brass razor. You know, the Fatipes are brass at the core, but then they're just plated. The vintage Gillettes are brass, most of them, and plated as well. Who else does a brass? There are some brass Blackbirds floating around if you like aggressive razors. That's as far as I can remember, Danny, about brass. Charcoal goods, of course. Oh, no, bronze. Timeless has a bronze razor. I like that one a lot. It's a good mid-range between comfort and closeness, getting a good shave while also staying pretty comfy. But that's a bronze one. There are a couple of brass Wolfman going around, but that would be a really hard buy, hard find. Does ATT above the tie have any brass? I don't know. Those are the ones I can think of, Danny. Yeah, man. Zabo, good night, man. Thank you for joining. You know, I thought about the Guinness stuff, you know, because I have videoed pretty much every use of this blade. But I imagine there are restrictions. I mean, because in theory, anytime I've paused the video, I could swap it out with a different blade, you know, that sort of thing. But definitely no. Rajesh, I am definitely not going to stop using this blade. I'm going to keep going. We're going to see how long it lasts. If it lasts 700 uses, if it lasts 370, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you, man. Heavens are mute. I appreciate that. Thanks for your kind words. Rajesh, for me, the brass does not react a bit at all with my skin. Now, this brass does have a small bit of smell, but I'm a gun aficionado. I enjoy shooting, and I like the smell of brass. However, when I use it, I do not smell brass. It's not strong enough for me to smell it during normal use. And for me, it does not react with my skin at all. Yes, Danny, the Karve is a solid handle. It's not hollow, if that's what you're asking. And I've got I've tried the 3-inch. It was a little too short for my hand and also too short for balance. So I got the 3.5 that I used for a good couple of years. And recently I've got the 3.25, and I find that is the sweet spot for me in terms of balance and that sort of thing. Yes, brass will tarnish. It will develop a patina, and I don't mind that at all. And why says, how good is the Zenith B2? I think it's really good. I've got a good number of shaves with it. I think that last year, in 2019, I used that as my austere August brush. I actually don't like the handle. For me, the grip, it is a big handle, but I couldn't grip it as well as I wanted to. But the knot is wonderful. I do plan on rehoming that knot into another handle, but I think the B2 is the Zenith is a wonderful brush. It's got really soft tips. It just took me, 5 or so uses before it was enjoyable to use. And then the tips still have a ways to go to split. So it's going to get softer and softer and softer as the uses go on. But it had a nice big splay, but not too big. You see, I don't need anything too big because of my goatee. I like the B2 a lot. Plenty of room. Also, it's got a lot of flow through. Plenty of room for the lather to get worked up. I'll show you this razor that I used today is actually a good example of what happens with brass. Let me go ahead and take my blade off. And with this blade, after every use, I don't wipe it or anything like that. What I do is I place it carefully on a washcloth. I fold over another piece of the washcloth, and I just tap it to remove the wetness. Okay, so this top cap, the underside of this top cap has a little bit of a patina. I hope you're able to see that. And because I got this top cap first with the razor when I bought it. And so this patina has been developing maybe for 2 years now. This handle is bead blasted, just like the top cap. And this is a fairly new handle that I have had maybe for 2 months. And so it has not developed a lot of patina. Heavens are mute. Thank you for tuning in, man. Take off. Have a good day. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. So this is kind of how it comes stock. This is what it looks like with the bead blasted. Now this plate I've had for a while. And so this is the bead blasted with a little bit of patina to it. I don't know how good the color. See, Linus, I agree as well. I think the patina looks really good on the brass. And then when you take that top cap, and this is just from a hand polish. So we can compare the hand polish with the kind of patina. Thank you very much, Danny. Yeah, the Karve got so famous. It got so in demand because it's such an excellent razor that they did have supply problems. I don't know how they're doing now. Hopefully they've caught up with the stainless steel. I've definitely seen some Karve razors on sale at the Shave Bazaar. I saw a huge set. I'm so tempted to get a stainless, but I don't need one. I've got a full set of the plates for the brass here. I don't need the stainless. I like the brass. So this is just a hand polish. And so you could definitely get a mirror polish here if you wanted to bring in some type of metal buffing wheel, a Dremel, or a normal bench grinder with a jeweler's rouge or whatever. So this just shows some of the different aspects about brass. If you don't polish this, even this shiny part will develop the patina. I happen to like it a lot. I have not polished the base plate here. I have used to polish. I just used a rag, a good cloth rag, and Mother's Chrome Polish was what I used at first because it also works on brass and did a good job. Then I bought some Brasso, and that did an even better job. I think it must be slightly more abrasive. And so for my brass here, and actually Brasso is good for stainless steel as well. And so I think I've switched from using the Mothers to the Brasso. But I just hand polish. And what I do is I just do different sessions, and I don't spend too much time. Just rub it for a while with the cloth while I'm sitting at my desk, kind of waiting for maybe a SQL batch job to process or something like that. Yeah, you can really see the difference. Yeah, yeah, the bottom cap and the bottom of the cap and the lower cap, that sort of thing. You can see a big difference. And now, Pete, now on my other handle, on my normal one, I polished with the same rag and stuff, this ferrule up here, and then the bottom right here. But you can see this one's just the bead blasted, kind of a matte finish. And I like the way it looks. I will probably do the same to this. I'll probably polish this part and the base. I like that two-tone look. Yeah, I have seen people force a patina on the brass. I really think the antique brass finish of the charcoal goods razors is attractive, but it's a customized brassing finish that it will actually wear away if you don't use Renaissance wax or something to preserve that finish. Right. Yeah, Karve is a one-man operation. He's just trying to keep up with demand. I try to go easy on him. But yeah, I've seen people, you can definitely find pictures, like Daily Carey was talking about the forcing the patina. Definitely seen pictures online of that, of those darker razors. And sometimes you can get a really nice consistent patina. If you let water droplets settle on it, then I think you can get kind of a blotchy patina. But since I kind of wipe down my razor after every use, I get a nice consistent patina. And I'm just enjoying polishing this so much. It hasn't had a chance to establish its own patina. I don't know if I'll ever quit polishing it. I might just keep going. And then someday this will be a mirror finish and it will just be because of 1,000 hand polishes. I don't know. Julius, I'm really enjoying it too. I really am. I'm really glad you got to join. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Till next time. Yeah, maybe once a month. I don't know. We'll do a live one again. We'll definitely do some more. I'm getting a kick out of it. Oh, a forced patina preserved with clear coat. Yeah, man, Daily Carey, please do shoot that to my Reddit. I think that would look really neat. When I was buying Wolfman, they were less expensive than they are now. How much are they new worth? People are taking some of the Wolfmen to eBay and asking a lot more. They're kind of scalping and things like that. I don't like that. I mean, free enterprise is great, but I don't like that too much. I think I've seen just the heads for about $300. Of course, with the introduction that he did of different textures for the heads. The high polish, for instance, there's one of those finishes, the mirror polish or whatever, is like $150 more. So you can expect those to be a lot more than the regular finish. But I bought the regular type glossy finish, probably about $300 for the head, and another 100 or something. Sometimes I'd get $300 for the whole razor. I had to wait for my pitch and do a lot of watching, but I eventually found what I did find. Well, you know what? Selling on eBay $500, that's actually not too bad, but I think $700 is too much. I wouldn't pay that. And if I found exactly the right one on eBay for $500 and I knew I was going to keep it for my whole lifetime and I could afford it, I would think about that. Pass it down to my son. And here's something I also think about in terms of shaving and expensive products. If I buy a razor for $500 and I use it my whole life and I use it 300 times a year and I use it for 20 years, that is a lot of uses. I kind of consider it jewelry that you get to experience more often than you do real jewelry. And so to me, it's part of the whole shaving experience. It's worth that little piece of joy you get if you can at all afford it. Zach likes to shave. Hey man, yeah, catch up on some of my videos. I have lots of playlists, and so if you like certain soap bases or razor brands or things like that, you can tune into one of my playlists, and then you get more kind of stuff you might be interested in. But yeah, have fun. I think I just saw that I had about 900 or something videos online, so there's plenty for you. Oh, Karve got hit by some corona and issues about scaling up. Yeah, yeah. It's delayed the titanium razor as well. Oh, and of course he's offering the aluminum. Brass is available. I love the brass, man. I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing all right considering all of life going on right now in 2020. Oh, HD shaves. Yeah, scalping. Flippers was probably the word I was trying to remember. But yeah, scalping's pretty much the same thing. It's I think it's a little bit underhanded or disreputable or something like that. Naming of the shaving soap. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. In the Rajesh is talking about the Massacre of the Innocents shave that I did recently. You like that Darwin handle, Alan? Yeah, it wasn't for me. It didn't grip me in the right place. And I like more traditional look. That's kind of a more modern take. And so now I get it. Have fun. Yeah, you know what? I got one of the Wolfman, and I got it with the satin finish or the matte. I'm really glad I've got a WR2 that way, and I think it's gorgeous. I really like it. I'm so glad I made that choice. Oh, $700 US. Yeah, $700 US. I was assuming you were talking about US prices in what I was talking about earlier. Appreciate that, Danny. Oh, G-Man, man, I'm really glad they've been helpful. That's awesome. When I originally started my channel, I um, I didn't really think about subscribers. I didn't think I would end up with very many subscribers. Maybe a few, really, honestly, because what I envisioned for my channel was just more like an encyclopedia where if somebody was searching Google or YouTube about a certain razor or soap, then they might find one of my videos and then it would be helpful for them. And so that's why I'm never focused on number of views. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's neat to see that some of them have gotten a lot of views, but that hasn't really been my focus at all because, I just wanted to put out and have a good resource for people. And because that's just my nature, kind of scientific, delivering a lot of facts. That's what I try to do. It's just, I kind of do what's in my personality. And that way I enjoy it more. That way it's not really work. It's a joy, because I'm kind of a teacher at heart, communicator, that sort of thing. I want to help people. And so by me recording, then, that just kind of fulfills kind of maybe part of my purpose in life, just to help folks. And so to have the number of subscribers that I do is really cool. It's really neat. I didn't see it coming. I'm glad that the videos have been of help, man. I really am. And G-Man is a guy who sent me some gear and some a soap base that I had never used before, and a really good scent. And I really appreciate his kindness and his generosity. Yeah, Nick Shaves is busy. He had a few practices that I didn't really agree with, so I haven't really missed him. They just weren't a part of my routine and stuff. So I haven't really missed him. But in the beginning of my shaving journey, I definitely watched a good many of his shaves. Linus, yeah, thank you, man. That was kind of what I was hoping to have. I've actually got a grid in my program I've got a program that I track all my stuff. I've got a grid of the popular blades that I want to make sure I shave with and the razors that I like. And then I want to eventually fill in to where I've taken and shaved with every razor, with every blade that I've got. I hope to achieve that someday. Yeah, man, I definitely am pretty raw. G-man, yeah. Zach likes to shave. Yeah, yeah. Thinking about how many times you'll use it in a shave. But here's a good thing, and I try to feature this on my channel too. I've used $10 razors. They give an amazing shave, really comfortable, good close shave, and they do just as well. And I try to make people who can't afford the nice stuff feel really good about the products that are available to them at a low cost, because there are really nice delivering razors that excel at shaving for low cost, and I'm proud to feature those on my site, as well as some of the expensive stuff. Danny, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Yeah, Nick's a surgeon, so yeah, he's occupied. I think even before COVID hit, he had kind of backed off because of just, maybe he was wanting to spend more time with his family and that sort of thing. Um, who else have I? Oh, Mark at Friendship Shaving is another guy I enjoy watching. He kind of inspired a little bit of my presentation style. I saw and really enjoyed his easygoing nature, and just kind of talking with a friend is how what you get when you're working with him, and just a nice slow pace. And so that's definitely affected my style. I saw something in it that I liked, and so I've tried to bring some of that to my channel as well. Yeah, we can hopefully get our artisans through this COVID thing. Be great if they can not have to close up shop and stuff. I have been called the Bob Ross of you wet shaving YouTubers, and I like that. That's kind of what I like for my channel. Just easygoing, casual. I'm not trying to be too polished. Uh, I just want to, and I've enjoyed interactions with you guys in the comments. It's just a good time. Thanks, man. Zach, I appreciate that. Hmm. Rajesh, yeah, Friendship and Another Cut Above. Those are good ones. I know there's somebody I'm leaving out that I do watch occasionally. I kind of wish I had more time to watch other shaving YouTubers, but I really don't. I'm just trying to juggle my own life. HD. Yes, I've used the Mark One. I do have one of those, and I have used it on the channel a couple of times. If you want to see, I can index those shaves for you, and if you're interested, just remind me somewhere on a channel or something like that, and I can easily do a search on that for you. Um, but I actually, to me, it's not that big of a difference. It is noticeably more aggressive, but not a lot. I didn't really consider it really a big jump. I found it very nice, enjoyable. G-man, yeah, yeah. Hey, that's good. Helping people to relax. That's a good thing, right? I definitely don't mind doing that. G-man, I appreciate that. I heard about Frankly My Pair from Barrister and Mann, Alan. I wouldn't mind trying it. Maybe I might pick up a sample of it from Maggard someday, but I have not tried it yet. Uh, I definitely have a pear soap. I think Saponificio Veracino has a pear scent, and I do like it a lot. So I'm sure I would would like whatever Will has put together at Barrister and Man. Linus, you say talking. What do you mean, man? Oh, a 90s era. Rajesh, yeah. Well, I don't know. You latecomers don't know it, but I am having to use my um, Chromebook to record this video because I started to use my cell phone, my more modern cell phone that I've been using for shaves now for a few months. I really like the resolution, that sort of thing. But apparently for mobile live streaming on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 followers. And I don't have that. I'm a few hundred away from that. And so I had to scurry to and run and get my Chromebook and put it up on a place in my bathroom here that I didn't expect to have to clear off. And fortunately, I was able to not keep people waiting on the video, and I was able to work. So yeah, on the cases where I do have to have a different video, and I like the fact that I don't edit the video. I do a video about every day. I don't have time to edit that stuff, and so I like the more kind of raw aspect to it. Just like that. What brand? I definitely have respect for those guys who do edit their videos. I am a bit of a designer by nature, and so if I had time, it might be nice to have a little title page that showed the equipment I was using, maybe some end credits that gave you some caveats or some links about here's how to take care of a boar brush, or some of those things, just to give people a lot of good information. But I don't have time to do that, I'm afraid. You know what? I've been reading lately about the Fatip open comb slant. I'm not a big slant fan because I'm just really happy with the solid bars and the normal oriented razors. And so I'm not aching to get a slant. But if I ever find a deal on the FOCS, then yeah, I will definitely pick it up because I'm just such a Fatip fan. I'd love to try it out. A 90s feel. Do I really have a 90s feel? I think that's cool. Why not? Let's go for it. Yeah, G-Man, you like the slants? That's cool. And I think mini slants offer a little bit more of an aggression, is my guess. I tried the Merkur slant. Is it 37C? I tried the Merkur, and I did not enjoy it at all. Have I tried any other? Oh, you know what I just ordered? In the Black Friday, I ordered Maggard's slant head, which I have heard is decent, and so I'll be bringing that to my channel. Oh, okay. Zach, you were able to do live shaves. Maybe you got grandfathered in or something like that. But yeah, they told me the rules. I clicked on learn more, and they said one of the rules was you had to have 1,000 subscribers to do mobile. I think I usually seem to be growing at about 25 subscribers per month. So that might take a year or two to get up to that point where I could do that. But at least now I'm ready for it next time. I can have the Chromebook in position or use a different webcam or something like that. Alan, I can see how your wife might not like the Hallows. It is very different. Yeah, Barrister and Man's terrific. I like the Hallows a lot myself. Reserve Cool, yes, I'm a big fan of that one too. It's vintage feel to it. It's everything good. I really like that one. Reserve Cool is terrific. Yeah, HD shaves. That's right. The all the Fatip razors are wonderful deals. That's for sure. I'll definitely have to pick up that slant. Hopefully, somebody will try it out and sell it on the bazaar, offer it up on the bazaar or something like that. I may, if not, maybe I'll have to put it on my list to get it retail. Yeah, Golden Steel Boy, you got the Maggard slant. Yeah, why not? Let's try it. Surely it'll be good. Maybe it'll offer good efficiency without too much change in feel. Ethereal Warrior, man, I appreciate you being here. I also enjoy you on Reddit, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you got to join, man. It really has been a blast. I'm this feeling I'm having right now about my awesome hobby that I like is akin to that first day earlier this year of the Lather games on Reddit, where I was honored to have my own day. Where guys did videos, HD shaves. Did one, and videos kind of doing it in my style of shaving, and I was just really happy. That's just it's a big smile on my face all day long. Glad you could join us, man. Okay. See, Daily Carry, he didn't care for the reserve. Cool. Hey, man, was it the fact that it was that reserve base that was hard to get up, into a good lather, or was this not your thing? With the reserve, Will was trying to capture a lot of the old scents, the old classics that maybe had gone by the wayside and were still quite nice. And so that's what his reserve line was. Yeah, it is the cool is a nice, refreshing type scent. And Linus says the Maggard slant head is good. He likes the fine open comb slant better than both the Maggard and the Mercure slants. Okay, cool. I also got the Soft Heart Paganini. I tried the Soft Heart Ferox recently. Didn't like the scent, but liked the performance. I traded it for a Soft Heart Hallows, and I don't like it as much, the scent as much as the other Hallows that I have, but it's more usable scent in the Soft Heart, so I'm glad to have that. Oh, Reserve Cool in the EDC. Yeah, I could see that being really good. Okay, so Daily Carry didn't really like the base quite as much as he was expecting, or the scent as well. With the reserve, I remember trying it out. I was a little bit new in terms of my lathering skills, and it felt silky smooth to me. And it must have been I was running it a little dry. Hadn't yet discovered how wet and slick I liked my lathers, because months later I would go back, and maybe a year later I would go back to reserve and try to work at it. And I did a series about reserve, and I had to change it from being one of my favorite bases, because I would either have it be too dry, and then I would keep adding water and it would quickly flip over to being too wet. I was not able to really hone in on that sweet spot. And I even watched that video of Will and a couple other guys lathering the reserve. And I guess they probably like theirs a little thicker than I like mine. But somebody seemed to say that maybe there was this point at which the reserve activates, where it's wet, and then you need to get enough water in there so it activates, and then it changes, and I was never able to quite nail that one down to the perfect zone where I like it. And I had used up so many shaves that I thought, you know what? I've got so many other soaps that I enjoy. Let's just put the reserve on hold, maybe come back to it some other time. But even if I never come back to it as much, then I've still got all these other soaps to enjoy. I have seen the Muley Roca. I think they look like an attractive razor. I think I've heard good things, but I know I've never tried one. And yeah, the Reserve Spice is closer to the original Old Spice formula, back when maybe it was Shulton. And I'm really glad he did that. I do like the spice. And to be honest, yeah, I'm kind of like you, Daily Carry. I like the Stirling better than many of the premium type soap bases that are out right now. It's not that one is better than the other. To me, it's just it seems to match what I like better. You know what? Most of the shaves that I have are consistent performers. Most of the soaps that I have, the reserve, like I was saying, is about one of the only finicky ones. I think in terms of, as long as you avoid some of the junk soaps like you might see on eBay or something like that, or Amazon, then all the ones that are reputable are going to be consistent. I've experienced most of them being very consistent. There's a few that you maybe have to work a little harder, like Wilkinson Sword, that blue or black UFO looking disc tub. Will give you a good lather, but you have to work for a while to get it. Williams Mug sometimes is that same way. Supreme lather. The slickness of Williams Mug can beat pretty much anything out there, and I mean expensive soaps included. It just sometimes takes more work to get to that creaminess. And so I found that in general, the consistency is more on the side of the shaver and his lathering skills than it is with choosing the right soap. So, Noble Otter, Declaration Grooming, in no particular order. Holy Cow, Barrister and Man, Oleo, Stirling, Haslinger, Fine Accoutrements, Southern Witchcrafts, D.R. Harris, Vito's. The hard pucks from Vito's are terrific. The hard Coco Crema or whatever, that's kind of a European brand. I mean, so many good soaps out there. Thank you, Zach. Now, see, I found the R41 to be too aggressive for me. That's interesting about the Roca. Maybe I'll end up trying one someday. Okay. See, sometimes with the more extreme items that don't really sit in a comfortable zone, you can pair them, as I'm looking at Daily Carey's message there, you can pair them with a blade that's often smoother for you or certain soaps, and then that'll change how they behave. And I can definitely see that. It's neat that we can customize everything that way. Yeah, HD. That base is really interesting, right? You know what might be interesting with, if you had the time with the reserve, do a normal shave, but then do a sample lather of reserve after each shave until, if you really wanted to nail it down. But yeah, I love that cool scent. I really do. He nailed it. I bought some Aqua Velva recently, and it's just not the same. Yeah, Noble Otter's terrific. Oh, Zingari Man, yeah, really good. I think I like the Kaizen base too. I can't remember if I've tried it. I think I have. Because of Phoenix Art, I don't use a lot of PAA because of his kind of shady dealings and stuff. So you won't see him on my channel too much. Take the puck, get a wet face, rub the side of it all over your face. And I think some people are able to get into a better lather with it that way. Jair Fernandez. I may have your pronunciation wrong there. But yeah, man, I've enjoyed dealing with you over the years and communicating and chatting and stuff. I'm glad you got to tune in. Yeah, Zach, I think most of the, I don't know. The trouble is there are a whole bunch of junk soaps out there. If you're curious, what I would do is jump on over on Reddit on wet shaving and look at every day. There's an SOTD forum for that day where people post their shave of the day. Also, you'll be able to find a report that somebody sometimes will post every month, and they'll show the popularity of all the soaps. And the top ones that you see used in that forum, all of them are great. Whereas Amazon and eBay are full of junk soaps that just aren't going to give you a good shave. But the good news is there are tons of really good ones out there. And for a European, look at Connaught Shaving, CONNAUGHT, ConnaughtShaving.com. And they have a nice number of soaps kind of for the European and other international market. And most of theirs, almost all of theirs, are really good as well. Alan, man, I'm so glad you got to join. Very cool to see you on here. I've communicated with Alan a lot about Umo brushes, and he had to work hard to get a wolf whiskers brush. So very cool to have you on here, Alan. I appreciate you. Have a good night, you too, man. Golden Steel Boy, man, thank you so much. Yeah, man, it may be time to shut this thing down, but yeah, man, I've had so much fun too. I'm having a blast. Oh, really? Oleo changed to Chicago Grooming Company. Um, that's interesting. I don't track them very much because they're almost all of the scents that they have were too light for me. It's a nice base. Their duck fat base, really nice. But so many of the scents that they had just didn't show up when I was shaving. I've tried one or two Shannon soaps. I haven't really formed an opinion on them or not, but I have seen them mentioned a good bit. Mystic Water, that's another one that you don't see too much. As long as you don't come into it right away with water. Use just the water, little bit of water from your brush, work up your lather in the bowl for a little bit before you start adding water. Mystic Water will be great. I'm a big fan of their base. Lisa's Natural Herbal Creations is another really good one. Linus, yeah, man, it totally has been fun. Chicago Grooming Fun Company. That's right, HD. Oh, okay. Daily Carry says Vita is working with Mammoth. Very cool. Well, hey, I'm going to let you, if you guys have some more questions or anything, go ahead and post them. I'm going to start cleaning up my gear. Love these soft tips. The blade is dry now. Really glad my Chromebook battery was fully charged. I was able to jump into it. And now, folks, we're going to take and put the dot on my card for 365. 2 hours and 13 minutes. I've had 2 hours and 13 minutes of pure fun, man. This has been great. I don't think the rest of them are going to be quite this long. I have to warn people. Now, this one I might have to go in and put a table of contents or something like that. Man, I've enjoyed this. Yeah, it is nuts. I totally did not see it coming. Even at 100, I didn't know how far it would go. Once I hit about 200 to 250, I thought it was going to go probably to 365. So today's shave was Port-au-Prince, the Mutton base, sheep base from one of my favorite makers because they present such a great value with the soap that they provide. Good ethical ownership as well. They do benefits and charities, and they interact with other shavers and other companies with respect. And so all those different things, performance, scent, and all those other things I mentioned are why I chose Stirling to be the 365th shave with the Nacet. And the Mutton base, just to give it some more publicity because it's an amazing base. They only have it in a few scents, but it's even better than their regular beef tallow. Yeah, G-Man. Man, it was good. I'm so glad you tuned in. I'm so glad you jumped on, man. I really appreciate that. Zach, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. 365. I just never would have known. And here's the thing. My other blade that I've shaved with the most is a feather, and it's at about 63 or something like that. And other than that, it's all the Nacet. And so I may be an expert in how a Nacet has treated me with so many shaves, but I have no idea if that's going to translate and how well to other blades as well. So we'll see. We'll put some more blades, some more uses on some other blades, and see how far they go. But, I may learn a whole different set of things when I put another blade through a lot of shaves. Yeah, man. Yeah. Stirling, veteran owned, great pricing, awesome selection. And Stirling isn't working on a new base. He, in a recent talk, he was saying how it would take quite a bit to make him switch to a new base. And I don't want him to. This is a great base. It's really good. Now, if you have really dry skin and this Mutton tallow may be really good for dry skin folks because I could feel it after the shave. But his beef tallow formula, where he has more scents available, I don't really want him to make a more expensive base. I don't want him to. This accents, his beef tallow base accents what I like about shaving soaps. It gives you performance, slickness, really slick. Not a lot of oils to slow things down. That's what I like. And so I hope he doesn't depart from that anytime soon. Daily Carry, man, thank you so much for chiming in. It's really been great. Long day tomorrow. Oh, very cool. Danny, the D plate on the Christopher Bradley, that's a very interesting thing. I was very happy with it. I got a little bit more blade feel than with obviously the C. With me and my skin and most of the blades I put it through, it gave me basically the same shave result as the C, but the C did it a little bit more smoothly. And so in general, I use the C instead of the D. But here's what happened. After the D, I liked it. I enjoyed it. And so I bought the E as well. So I tried the E, and we're talking about solid bar here. I tried the E, and it was way too aggressive for me. I couldn't even use it as a daily type experience. And so for me, the cutoff was very severe, and it was right between D and E for some reason. I don't know why. Double A, B, C, D were all wonderful, very usable. And it wasn't even like at the end, it started to feel aggressive. It just was sudden. And so maybe that's a unique experience. Maybe everybody has a certain drop-off point. I don't know why it happened that way. But for me, that was my experience with the D. I consider it a nice mid-range. I don't consider it aggressive. For me, it was a nice mid-range that had some more blade feel, nice efficient shave, but still comfortable enough to use every day. For me, that's how the D was. Comfy enough to use every day. And so that's why the E being non-usable was a big surprise for me. Now, I did use the E and the F later with the Nacet blade once it had a whole bunch of uses and the geometry of the blade edge had changed. I was able to use those higher blade gaps, but not for normal blades for me. It's definitely not mild for me, the D blade. I mean, there are probably some people out there who think the D plate on the Bradley is mild, but I don't think there are too many. Yeah, Zach. I like blade exploration, and so it has been a little difficult sticking with the Nacet because so many times I do want to get out there and play with a bunch of other blades. It's been a trade-off. Oh, HD. I wonder, Port-au Prince. I wonder if, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Haitian Vetiver EO. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was an issue. I am feeling it a little bit in my neck. I've been looking up for about 2 hours. Man, Saurav, I'm glad you're here, man. I really appreciate it. Maybe that's why people are always begging to subscribe and like at the end of every video, which I hate. I figure if people like it and want to subscribe, they'll do it. I don't want to be that kind of guy. And so I've never said it on mine. But maybe that's why they do it, because they want to be able to have everything go on with their mobile phone, right? Let's see, at 25 uses, I think I've got 600 subscribers. So, that's a good many months of growth that I would need to have. Man, that's funny. Get this guy 1,000 subs. Okay. See, now I love shaving so much that I rarely ever shave on a few days growth. And when I do, one of the things I like to do is shave with a mild razor, just to show you guys that a mild razor can easily knock down a bunch of growth, just like a high gap razor can. But Linus mentions that he likes to use the F plate on Karve if he has a few days of growth. Yeah, go for it. That's a great use for it. Oh, okay. Sort of says that you get some other things in YouTube Studio if you have 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. My honest opinion about the Wizamet blades is that they seem to be working very similarly to me as the Pole Silvers that I have. And so I would not be surprised if they were the same blade. They do look the same. They have the same stamping on them. They both say Wizamet Iridium or whatever like that. So that leads me to think that they could be the same. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they were slightly different. But they do seem to be acting similar to me, and I really enjoy both. Mac, hey, thanks for jumping on. Okay, he's got coarse hairs, and so he may have to have different shaving prep techniques, things like that. Yep. Now, Mac, we definitely have had other guys to have coarse hairs and thick beards that can still take blades to 100. So keep working on your technique if you want, and then maybe you can get even better shaves than you're already getting. I'm going to get back to putting away my gear. Oh, hey, now that we've got this thing empty, I can show you the bowl, Roger Quintero. Didn't get to finish my story a couple hours ago. Roger contacted me and said that he was going to give me one of these bowls printed up for me. And I actually recommended a few changes, like about the ridges here and the size and the depth and that sort of thing. And so he changed some of the features. And so I'm a partial helper in the making of this bowl. And a lot of people have printed it up and are really enjoying it. I definitely like it a lot better, even than this custom ceramic one I had. And you know why? The custom ceramic one I used for a long time on my channel has a bottom that's not flat like this one is. It actually starts and goes deeper toward the middle. And I thought at first I would like that, but I've come to really enjoy the fact that this is flat and there's a bump right here. I think that helps with animation as the bristles go over the bump. And when the bristles move, like my fingers are moving, then they rub up against each other and create more lather. What you don't want is your brush going around in your bowl and not moving. And so I like this shape. I've come to like this shape a lot more than even my custom bowl. Man, thanks for your kind words, Mac. Sort of. His hairs just fall off at the side of the blade. My throat is getting a little bit needing of some water. I've been talking for a while. We'll hope my lather cup, my soak cup, is and clean. I might as well have you on while I'm putting away my gear, right? In case somebody's got some questions. You guys, I like the way that you're talking with each other. Yes, I'm a little bit tired, but man, I have really enjoyed this time. I did not know that I would enjoy it so much. It's a marathon shave, number of uses and number of minutes, right? I don't guess I'll be upset if I have to reapply the Midnight Stag. Yeah, where I am, it's actually 12:30 right now. Here is my little teaspoon. It's a 1/4 teaspoon measure, and I like to use it when I am scooping. And I usually scoop either a soap that's a little too difficult to get into with a brush, or of course the tiny tub samples, or a soap that I think maybe I'm not going to like. And so scooping it keeps it more clean, more appetizing for potential buyers. 1/4 teaspoon, I often find is plenty to get the job done for 4 or more passes of lather. You just press it into the bottom of your bowl. Now, shark blades did not do very well for me early on. I might have to try them again. They're one of the few blades that I did not like. But, and I love that because I see online every once in a while, somebody will post that the shark blades are one of their favorites. And so I use that as a constant example to new shavers to say, hey, you know, just because you don't like something or you like something, it could be totally different for somebody else. So looks like we got a couple of guys where sharks are good for kind of a sensitive beard. Cool. You know, in the beginning, when I got a big Lord blades, when I bought a sampler on Amazon, most of them were kind of okay for me, but I thought it was neat that they did pretty well. I haven't really gone back and revisited those yet, though, in quite a while. But I recall them doing pretty well. All right, guys, this has been really cool. It's late, and it's time for me to get to bed. Man, this has been just a total blast. I'm so glad you guys have chimed in. I have enjoyed watching your conversations that you've had on the side, at least the pieces of them that I was able to see. And I've really enjoyed today's shave. All the best, really, for you guys. Keep yourself safe out there. Keep yourself cordoned off when you can with the COVID thing going around. Really cool, guys, so much. Check out I Am SMS. Check out some of his videos. He's got some good stuff, good shaving stuff as well. Zach, Sorov, Mac, heavens are mute. Thank you, guys. Corson Martin, thank you so much, all you guys, for tuning in. So we'll go ahead and end things. Yeah, Linus, been a nice shaving party. Just in case anybody thinks of a last question, I'll give you another minute or so to post that. and then we'll go ahead and sign off. All right, man, I'm glad you guys got something out of it too. That's really what I hope. Hey, Christmas is coming up. Whatever holiday you celebrate at this time of the year, I hope you're able to enjoy it with your friends and loved ones and family and whoever is good and important to you in your life. But we'll see if we can't get another stream, another live shave going. I sure really have enjoyed it. All right, guys. Good night. Saurav, you, all the other guys, Danny. I celebrate the holiday called days off from work. There you go. There you go. Danny, good night. Everybody, thanks so much. I really enjoyed this. Take care.